During this presentation, we will focus on IKEA, a company that started in Sweden and is now globally known as a low-cost quality supplier of various home furnishings.
IKEA was founded in 1943 by 17-year-old Ingvar Kamprad. The company's name is a combination of Kamprad's initials and the first letters of the farm and village where he grew up in southern Sweden. While most furniture companies offered personalized service in high-cost environments, Kamprad realized that customers were willing to do without these amenities in order to save money. It was this that drove him to create a company on the principles of frugality and low cost, which has led to IKEA's popularity today. The IKEA concept is the company's vision as well as its operating philosophy. It is to provide functional, well-designed furniture at prices so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them, creating a better everyday life for the many people. This concept guides every aspect of how the company's products are designed, manufactured, transported, sold, and assembled. To save on manufacturing and distribution costs, furniture items are shipped in flat packs, which the customer then assembles themselves. To compensate the customer for this do-it-yourself assembly, IKEA passes the savings on in the form of lower prices as well as providing other extra services such as child care and play areas, restaurants, and longer store hours. IKEA has also found many other ways to reduce costs. One objective is to establish and maintain long-term supplier relationships. Instead of designing a product and then trying to find the lowest cost production method, IKEA begins with the target retail price in mind, then works with thousands of suppliers in over 50 countries to find the lowest cost way to design and manufacture that product. IKEA also commits to high-volume purchases over an extended time frame. This type of commitment reduces the potential risk to their suppliers and allows them to make long-term commitments for raw materials. This bulk buying allows both IKEA and its suppliers to dramatically cut costs. IKEA's marketing program has 4 focal areas: product design, catalogs, advertising, and public relations and promotions. The company's main marketing focus is its printed catalog. This 300 to 400 page catalog is printed in 59 editions and 30 languages, and is where they spend the majority of their annual marketing budget. Advertising is not a major focus for the company, as they prefer word-of-mouth communication. This is reflected in IKEA's heavy social media presence. IKEA's U.S. Facebook page has over 1 million fans.
Just this month, founder Ingvar Kamprad retired from the board of Inter-IKEA Holding Company SA, and his son Matthias has been appointed chairman. This formally relieves him of all duties to the company, though he will still advise the board and tour the stores and factories. This is the last in several steps he has taken to pass on IKEA to the next generation, and he couldn't pick a better time. The company just closed the books on another fiscal year of growth and is expecting to continue to grow in the future. In moving forward, there are rumors that IKEA may be modernizing the way it interacts with its customers. In their fiscal year 2012 summary booklet, the company indicated that they have started to develop e-commerce solutions in selected markets. Further fueling digital rumors, IKEA's chief marketing officer expressed her recognition of mobile technology's influence on consumer buying behavior. Perhaps this could mean more marketing focus on social media. While IKEA initially struggled in the United States and opened no new stores in 2012, they did close the deal on properties for 2 new U.S. stores, one in Miami and one in Kansas City. Also, they announced plans to expand their Burbank, California store. These stores will be all or partially powered by renewable energy that is generated on property, continuing the company's commitment to environmental sustainability. In addition to growth in the U.S., IKEA is now planning to open 25 stores in India. This is a huge investment for the company. However, IKEA has been doing business with Indian companies for years, mostly with India's textile industry. This takes their investment in India from $450 million to over $1 billion. The stores will be open in 4 to 5 years. India isn't the only country IKEA is investing in. The company plans to open 3 shopping malls in China over the next 2 years. The malls will include IKEA stores as anchors, with hundreds of additional units for retail, entertainment, and food options. IKEA will own the property and is excited about applying their shopping experience philosophy to larger spaces. They hope that their malls will become a community destination for socializing as well as shopping.
We will now spend a few minutes discussing the SWOT analysis. First, we will start with strengths. One of IKEA's greatest advantages is their low-cost structure. Taking advantage of economies of scale and buying in bulk adds to IKEA's low-cost initiatives while also creating strong relationships with suppliers. By focusing on a more do-it-yourself approach, IKEA is able to further reduce manufacturing costs and pass that savings on to customers. In addition to low cost, IKEA offers many amenities that other stores fail to consider. Some of these amenities include restaurant, consultation, and childcare services. IKEA also emphasizes a corporate culture which is strongly focused on anti-corruption as well as environmental and worker protection. IKEA's brand image is focused on high-quality, low-cost products. However, their commitment to the community and environment has strengthened their brand image and customer relationships. IKEA also has a strong focus on sustainability and uses renewable, reusable, and recyclable materials wherever possible. Moving on to the weaknesses. In the U.S. especially, the do-it-yourself approach is perceived as an inconvenience by some consumers. There is also the misperception of low quality which harms IKEA's image. By buying in bulk, while it leads to lower costs, it leaves little, if any, room for customization. IKEA has a limited promotional budget, which is largely focused on word of mouth and catalog advertising. This type of advertising is not highly popular with U.S. consumers. The consumer trends shifting more towards e-commerce, IKEA's lack of online support is a significant weakness. Although some products can be purchased online, a greater majority can only be bought from the store. Because IKEA's stores are so large, they are often found few and far between, which makes shopping in stores an inconvenience for many. There are many opportunities for IKEA that already play to their strengths. In this weak economy, consumers are always looking for ways to reduce costs wherever possible. IKEA's low-cost, high-quality strategy puts them in a good position to be consumers' alternative. Increasing demand for convenience has caused consumers to shop online versus in stores. A greater online presence would increase consumer demand as well as reduce overhead costs. Recent socio-cultural trends, as an increased concern about the environment and a greater focus on ethics and social responsibility, play to some of IKEA's current strengths. With minimal efforts, IKEA can increase their focus on these areas. By taking advantage of low-cost manufacturing countries such as China and India, IKEA will potentially be able to reduce manufacturing costs while also being able to enter in additional emerging markets. As you can see, IKEA faces many threats. IKEA faces competition from traditional brick-and-mortar style stores that have become price competitors, as well as from online competitors who combine low cost with the ability to comparison shop. IKEA's current target customer is the younger generation. As the population continues to age, the demand for trendy, low-cost furniture will decline, resulting in a significant decline in sales. Mature market preference also presents a challenge. IKEA is faced with the threat of existing customer loyalties as they try to enter into new markets. With being a global company, IKEA also faces the issue of fluctuating exchange rates, which could potentially threaten profit margins. Increasing raw material costs would also cause prices to increase or margins to decline. Severe changes in the economy, either positive or negative, could impact the company. If the economy declines too far, IKEA's low prices may not be low enough. If the economy begins to boom, then more people will be able to afford higher quality, higher priced goods, both of which would be significantly inconvenient for IKEA.
Though IKEA has long maintained operational efficiency and high profit margins, it must be ready to identify and contend with new market challenges as they emerge. There are a number of dilemmas currently facing IKEA. U.S. consumers want more customization. Successful establishment in the U.S. may require offering more customization options on products, such as color, style, and accents. The consumer preference in the U.S. favors personalization more than other countries. IKEA's no-frills designs may need to be expanded to accommodate this demand. Also, the do-it-yourself assembly may be viewed as inconvenient. What's an even greater challenge for IKEA is what is currently their inadequate web presence. Their website currently only allows users to view products and gather information on them. Some products are available for ordering, but the vast majority of products in most of the countries IKEA operates in do not support e-commerce. Also, their marketing is too narrowly focused. IKEA has long remained highly dependent upon its annual catalog, which it distributes globally in many different languages and versions. Catalogs, however, are not the most effective marketing tool, particularly in the US, where catalog use is very minimal. IKEA cannot successfully establish itself in the United States and stand out from the competition by continuing to rely on catalogs. IKEA must find new ways to reach customers, such as television. IKEA must also tailor their broadcast marketing to more conservative US tastes. Their marketing around the world is thought to be overly edgy and even sexually aggressive in content for more conservative US tastes. IKEA must tailor its television advertising to American preferences so as not to alienate potential customers. This will come at a cost, as IKEA will not be able to distribute one-type-fits-all commercials, but rather create unique ads for each market. Also, IKEA must overcome the disparate governmental rules that exist around the world in the various foreign markets that they're trying to enter into, such as India, where land acquisition can be quite complex, timely, and costly. This is especially problematic for IKEA due to the fact that their stores are so large in size. What is also a marketing challenge is the emerging competition in the low-priced furniture market. Competition is increasingly growing in the market of stylish but low-priced furniture. Companies such as BlueDot.com and Furniture.com market themselves with the same business model. Also, IKEA must overcome the perception that their products are low quality. As the company seeks further growth, there is the perception among some that its products are low quality, similar to Walmart. This will not appeal to many U.S. consumers who, research shows, tend not just to demand low prices, but high quality as well. Also, IKEA must develop and cultivate the perception that it is a desirable brand and it is a name brand that consumers want. It is deeply ingrained in U.S. social culture that brands matter, and the superiority of products is largely defined by the company name behind the product. Is IKEA viewed in the U.S. as a great brand? There is some evidence that this is questionable. Not being viewed as a good brand means consumers are more likely to spend their money on more known and trusted brands elsewhere for their home and decorating purchases. Finally, what's a marketing challenge for IKEA is maintaining adherence to their social goals. One downside of IKEA's impressive growth is that being a company of such a large size makes it more of a target for criticism. Its decisions are more closely watched compared to smaller companies. If it makes a decision that one party doesn't agree with, the criticism is publicized and the company's image could be injured. One example is IKEA's alleged use of non-sustainable trees in northwest Russia for wood manufacturing instead of using sustainable types. IKEA emphasizes environmental awareness as an operational and corporate value. It must overcome and fight against criticisms that it is not doing enough to adhere to this goal or that it failed to act as it should. In the event that criticisms come in the form of lawsuits, IKEA must be able to handle not just the reputational threats, but the legal costs as well. In tackling its array of marketing challenges, we have narrowed down 3 primary alternative courses of action IKEA can take to prove operations. The first is to soften its long-held do-it-yourself assembly policy. But just like with any major business decision, there are both pros and cons associated with it. We propose letting IKEA customers choose DIY assembly or to let IKEA assemble their furniture. If they choose IKEA, some of the advantages include Sales on complementary goods are likely to rise. Convenience is added to the consumer experience. IKEA will become more competitive with industry rivals who are offering this service. There will be more appeal to the prevalent aging population in the US, and the fee charge can be minimal for this service. Some of the cons associated with this course of action include: it will require store space. There will need to be some sort of designated space devoted to building the furniture. There's also the cost of staff that will have to be devoted to furniture assembly. There is the cost of marketing this new service. And finally, there is always the potential dislike of extra fees.
The second alternative is for IKEA to increase their online presence and participate in e-commerce. IKEA is already structured with an online setup offering limited product availability in 10 out of the 40 countries it currently operates. So far, this has been a great success. There are many pros to IKEA increasing their online presence. By increasing their product availability online and expanding online services to more countries, IKEA could significantly increase their customer base. Restructuring to increase online presence would be minimal, as some countries are already set up for this activity. Online shopping gives the added convenience of quick comparison shopping. As a store that prides itself on low cost, IKEA can benefit from having their prices known, especially if they are significantly lower than competitors. IKEA can also have free word-of-mouth advertising by allowing consumers to rank and comment on their online purchases. By using distribution centers to store and ship goods, IKEA could reduce overhead costs. Distribution centers would be able to be smaller and therefore more centrally located, which would also lower shipping costs. With online stores utilizing distribution centers rather than large stores, IKEA could enter markets previously ruled out due to space issues. There are unfortunately a few negatives to increasing product availability online. Online shopping gives added convenience for comparison shopping, which is bad for IKEA if other stores are offering low prices. Initial implementation of these distribution centers would also be costly. In addition, logistics costs of shipping bulk items could be more costly than consumers will be willing to pay. Therefore, IKEA would need to absorb these additional costs elsewhere or increase prices and risk losing customers.
A third alternative is for IKEA to align their marketing medium to each region. IKEA's main advertising focus is through their catalog. As mentioned earlier, this catalog is printed in 59 different editions in 30 languages. This fact makes it obvious that IKEA changes their catalog to market to different people and different cultures. Unfortunately, no matter the culture, they are still using the same advertising medium for all markets. Each market responds differently to different types of advertising medium. For example, television is the most effective advertising medium in the U.S., significantly more effective than catalogs. IKEA should develop marketing programs using various different marketing mediums in order to use what is the most effective for each culture. Some pros of this approach are that IKEA would be able to reach a larger audience with advertising tailored to be effective in each region. Many advertising mediums also provide much faster feedback as to the effectiveness of the campaign. This will allow IKEA to quickly alter their ads and redeploy if necessary. With the high cost of producing a catalog, it is cost prohibitive to reprint and redistribute if the original print is ineffective. The downside of this approach is increased staffing and production costs. IKEA would have to bring in experts and production staff for each type of medium they will use. With the variety of mediums available, this could end up greatly increasing headcount. This increased cost, however, should be offset by the reduction in catalog costs for the regions in which they are ineffective.
Finally, despite the identification of several weaknesses within IKEA operations, the company's inadequate e-commerce system stands out as the most pressing need. It is recommended here that IKEA prioritize this need because doing business in a highly internet-oriented world without online support poses the biggest threat to company viability. Consumers increasingly prefer online shopping. E-commerce now makes up 5.5% of all U.S. retail shopping. This percentage continues to grow every year. Another benefit of internet shopping is that it allows for comparison shopping, which many U.S. consumers prefer. Finding physical locations is not always feasible, so IKEA cannot continue to depend solely upon brick-and-mortar stores for sales. Improving the web presence will entail large upfront costs, but these, we think, will be outweighed greatly by the benefits of increased sales over time. E-commerce capabilities are a prerequisite for doing business in the modern world.